I think there's a massive misconception of something about me, and I wanted to clear that up right now. A lot of people think that just because I wear, Savile Row three-piece suits every day, that I hang out with the trillion-dollar man, Dan Pena, in his castle, that I interview, billionaires every other week that are crypto founders, that I worked in finance on Wall Street in Chicago and the city of London for 15 years, that I always have been rich or wealthy. And nothing further from the truth could be the reality of that situation. For all of my 20s, I was broke as a motherfucking joke. American Express had a hitman looking for me. I'm serious. And they used to literally call my dad and harass him in San Diego, California. This is after I left the house. After college, they would still call him and harass him. And he would call me up and be like, can you please get these people to stop calling me? And I'd be like, sorry, Dad. But I could not manage my money. And again, I was making a ton of money. I was working on Wall Street. I was working at a dot-com startup. I was making six figures in my 20s. And yet I blew it all and spent it all. And my lowest moment was probably in 2001 in New York City, where I woke up one morning in a hospital bed, and the doctors looked at me and said, you just overdosed on heroin, and we got you back alive. And your girlfriend called us, otherwise you'd be dead because you stopped breathing. And I said, okay, thanks, get these tubes out of me, I'm out of here. And I realized that, even though I had the degree from MIT, even though I had this desire and this will to work hard, what the problem is that I couldn't get out of my own way, because I hadn't found a way to be successful every day by having non-negotiable practices, standards, and daily habits. And I still remember in 2002 when I moved to London, that's when everything changed. I got away from old habits of mine, old people, old drug dealers, and I got here and I stopped doing drugs, stopped snorting that nasty brown, and I started building my life. I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 2002 with one of my best friends, Uncle Chris, who's going to be godfather of my children soon. And I started putting in the work of building my career in the city. And I remember it was like 3 months later or 6 months later, I had six figures in my bank account. I remember printing out the ATM machine, the receipt, and I was like, I wanted to show somebody. I was like, do you realize last year I was in a hospital from an overdose, and now I've got six figures in my bank account? And that turned into seven figures, and that's turned into multiple versions of seven figures. And away we went on that ride. But a lot of people don't understand the money only came after the habits were in place. And that's my daily practice. And it started back then in 2002. 20 years later, it's evolved even more, and it's evolving every day. If you've been watching the videos that I've been putting out on my Instagram stories, you can see that in the last 4 weeks, I've started doing walking meditations thanks to Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly a work in progress. I'm constantly looking for improvements. I'm by no means done, and I'm by no means consider even myself a success. I got a long way to go. But my point is that by having these non-negotiable daily habits, I can string together win after win after win after win. And maybe I look lucky, but when they say what is it? Success is when opportunity meets preparation. And that's what happens. I'm prepared and ready to go. So when an opportunity happens, it's like, bam, I'm there and I'm ready to capitalize on that opportunity, because I am a strong man. And again, look at 2020, what happened. I mean, we had probably our biggest year ever during the lockdown. We became world famous. We had a massive year when it comes to revenue, and it was absolutely incredibly and off the charts. Now, how was I able to do that? I was able to do that because I was comfortable with who I am. I kept my physical practice going when the gyms were closed. I kept myself mentally sane. I had given up all the drink and all that other nonsense, and nothing like COVID was ever going to stop that. And that allowed me to thrive when other people were crying and hiding and complaining and whatever other nonsense they were doing. We didn't miss a beat. And that's why we produced all that incredible media at that time. And so, this is something that if you can embrace, it's going to change your life. And that's why lately I've decided to zoom out a little bit, because I've been teaching crypto to a massive degree and to a lot of success. I've been teaching people how to start their own businesses, how to start their own podcasts. But I've never actually taught anybody to be the best version of themselves. And we've all heard the story of someone that wins the lottery, right? and they get $10 million and a year later they're broke again. And you're thinking, oh, that can't be me. That will be you, because that was me until I was 30. I had all the opportunities, I had all the money, and I fucking squandered all of it like a fucking loser. And it's because I didn't have this practice in place. And so I've decided to basically zoom out and walk a small group of people through a process of getting a daily routine, of getting non-negotiable habits every day to build the man or woman that you want to become. And I'm going to do it myself personally. I'm going to personally mentor people. You're going to have an hour of my time every single week where I'm going to answer any questions necessary. You're going to have a personalized, customized routine for you every single day. And a lot of the practices I use, a whole curriculum, and of course a community as well. So if that's something that interests you, DM me and let me know that you're interested. Best thing is to follow me on Instagram, The Real Brian Rose, and DM me over there. But I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to share what I've learned so far. And like I said, I'm a work in progress. I'm always looking for more, but I've gotten together an incredible array of systems that makes me show up to be the man I am every day. And I guess the most important thing that I'll say to you, and this is maybe a final thought, is that I'm proud of who I am today. And that's not always been the case in my life. I'm very hard on myself, very hard. Probably the reason I kept drinking so much, because I needed to get away from me, who's always criticizing me. And I'm actually proud of the man I am today, because, you know, I show up every day and I push myself to the limits to do the best and get the best results and help the most amount of people and create the best content that transforms lives. I love it, and I love doing it. And I want to bring as many of you as possible across that goal line into success, because honestly, the more people in this world that are successful, the better world it is for my children, for me. So why don't we all win? That's my plan. So like I said, DM me. There'll be links popping around everywhere. There might be one below as well. I think we're going to call it our Life Accelerator, but I couldn't be more excited. So check it out, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. In the meantime, work on yourself, get a practice, get better, and get after it.